Hello, this is Sandra Bruner, and I will be presenting for the group from Fort Belvoir Community Hospital, which is also includes Lieutenant Colonel Paul Johnson and Mrs. Sunny Yauger. And our topic is on Tech Talk, Wearable, and Mobile Technology. Okay, the first thing we'd like to discuss is wearable technology. And wearable technology tends to refer to items which can be put on and taken off with ease, and there are also some more invasive versions of the concept, as in the cases of implanted devices such as microchips or even smart tattoos. Ultimately, what it is a device that is worn or incorporated into the body, and the purpose of this technology is to create constant, convenient, seamless, portable, and mostly hands-free access to electronics and computers. There are several principles of wearable technology. The first, again, is just mobility. The device must be permanently equipped to be portable and go wherever the wearer goes. There's also reality augmentation. And with this, technology augments reality by providing enhancements to the environment. This is significantly different than virtual reality, in which virtual reality seeks to replace the environment. An example is a learner and evaluation utilizing VR endoscopy simulator versus a learner and an evaluator using Google Glass when the evaluator is able to visualize the learner's point of view. Context sensitivity exploits the intimacy between human, computer, and environment. This allows for the technology to be aware of the user's surroundings and state. An example of this is that Fort Belvoir utilizes two types of wearable and mobile technology in which context sensitivity is a key factor. One is Cerner technology, and this relays a healthcare provider's information to the patient as they walk into the patient's room. What happens is that the doctor or nurse's name is actually displayed on a screen so the patient knows who is coming into the room. The other device in use is the Vocera badge, which is a communication system. This voice-controlled device provides wireless integrity across a network to locate providers, broadcast messages, and acts as a two-way communication device. Some examples of wearable technology that most of us are probably aware of is the Google Glass.
Okay, Glass, patient status. Okay, Glass, check vital signs, bed 4. Okay, Glass, increased SIVO, 2%. Very cool. I've been reading about it. I wanted to see what it was all about, and it was even better than I thought it would be.
At Philips, we believe that the future of healthcare requires innovations that can really make a difference.
At Accenture Technology Labs, we work with companies like Philips and Google to make these digital connections happen smoothly and quickly.
What makes Accenture our perfect partner is our collaboration allows us to build custom features for innovative digital technology like Google Glass that works seamlessly with our medical solutions.
To be able to use a wearable display in a medical setting to give doctors the chance to operate or coordinate with their peers in a hands-free environment is just not anything we've seen before. This is what digital transformation is all about.
For example, a young patient comes into the hospital with severe abdominal pains. Let's see what Google Glass can do.
I'm going to go check on the patient's status. Okay, Glass, patient status. Looks like he's in OR6, ready in about 12 minutes. Perfect. As the new healthcare information technologies start emerging, and they'll start being able to track patients, and having this sort of technology tethered to it would be very nice. Hey, Rob, almost ready? Okay, I'm going to check on the patient's status, see if they're in the holding area. Great. Okay, Glass, check vital signs, bed 4. If you have to turn away to look at the monitor, it makes it a little bit more difficult. If someone is that critical that you have to keep on looking, it's nice with one glance you can find that information again.
Philips and Accenture envision this innovation providing many opportunities to support the complex tasks of healthcare professionals, both in the operating room and beyond.
Okay, Glass. Record picture in EHR.
We really did it. We were able to develop the connection from Google Glass to our IntelliView solution to show data inside Google Glass.
Okay, Glass, take a note.
Our goal is to continue to explore other uses of Google Glass in combination with our medical solutions to empower healthcare providers with seamless delivery of information.
At first it's going to be cool, and I think as everything develops it's going to be very practical. It's a great stepping stone. I think that will help make the care of patients go a little bit smoother and our jobs a little bit easier.
So what are some of the trends in wearable technology? Right now, Fitbits and Fuel Bands are just the beginning. Your personal trainer, guardian, and doctor can now live in your wardrobe, pocket, and even your living room. Here are some of the hot topics in the wearable industry. One of them is wearable exercise apparel. And what happens is that Athos has some workout apparel which is sleek and resembles very much to Lululemon, but it adds a nervous system to clothes by introducing woven-in sensors at key muscle areas that monitor heart rate, muscle activity, and respiratory rate in real time. The data is stored in a smartphone app, and then it spares you the cost of exercising with a personal trainer by offering an early warning for potential muscle pulls and insight into exercise modifications to prevent injury. Another thing that wearable technology has the capability to do is it helps you to get to the finish line by incorporating the data that you do collect across social channels, and then these channels allow people to encourage one another if they have an off day. It engages you in some type of friendly competition, and it helps you to push each other to exercise and to lead a more healthy lifestyle. As far as the security of wearables, thanks to cuff and Bluetooth technology, if your grandma falls or your teenager is in a dangerous situation, they can get the message out. What happens is that the user presses on the jewelry containing the cuff link, which is a hidden accelerometer. And what happens is that designated emergency contacts will be alerted that something is wrong, and it's either through a vibration in their own cuff jewelry or an alert from a dedicated app that is sent out. With e-patients, there is a Scanadu Scout, and this is a new tool that in clinical trials is a device that when placed on your forehead monitors vital signs in just 10 seconds, and then it sends the results to a mobile app. This paves the way for a more informed patient and doctor discussion. With wearable operating systems, Google announced its official entry into the wearable market with an operating system for wearable products. The operating system can now proactively help you tackle what life throws you in real time. You can now interact with the wearable while on the move, letting your phone safely stay in your pocket or your pocketbook, and you can keep your eye out on the apps that will be rolled out in the next coming months to help Google's fruition come about.
Technology has given us an unprecedented window into the human body. But on a day-to-day basis, we're still in the dark about our own health. We are changing that.
You okay? Do you feel okay?
What if instead of fearing the worst when you notice something out of the ordinary, you could identify the condition yourself? Getting the right diagnosis would save you worry.
It says it's roseola.
And an unnecessary doctor's visit.
Rest at home. It's okay.
Instead of hearing about a viral outbreak on the news, imagine you got an alert that was tailored to your family's needs. It would also give you advice about what to do next. What if you had a way to identify what was wrong right away?
It says it's 103.8.
A way to get all of the information you need to understand the situation. And in serious cases, you would know when and where to seek help.
It recommends taking it to the urgent care.
We're building a way for people to check their bodies as often as they check their email. It's all possible, and it's only the beginning.
With state-of-the-art as far as mobile technology goes, some of the trends that are being seen in mobile technology is getting the whole world connected. There's an idea of having an internet.org with basic web services that will essentially be available worldwide. The problem is that we're not quite there yet, but the different telecommunication companies are moving to that point, and they're even developing smartphones that are as low as $25 with capabilities to run things such as the Firefox operating system, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, camera, and other apps at this very low price. In wellness and wearables, there's a recent trend for the use of fitness trackers, and what happens is that these fitness trackers are water resistant. They can have a heart rate sensor in them. They will allow you to transmit the data to a app, and what happens is that this big app will then provide you with information on such measures as how you sleep, where you've been, what you've been browsing during the day, and essentially it keeps track of everything that you do. The next trend is to go big or to go home. What we've been noticing within the smartphone area is that the screens have been getting bigger and bigger, and this trend will continue. As far as mobile commerce and mobile applications, it seems like this has been a social phenomenon, and it's been playing a bigger and bigger role in commerce for business and other transactions, such as the banking and insurance industry. And what happens is that the use of mobile is becoming crucial for these types of businesses. As far as professional applications, Apple is the pioneer for many of the applications which have been crucial for professionals such as doctors, nurses, chemists, teachers, and it has essentially changed the way that we think of using mobile devices for professional purposes. Some of the up-and-coming surprising features of mobile technology is like no more keys. What happens is that there can be Bluetooth 4.1, and you don't even need a key to get into your room anymore, and some hotels are already testing out this type of technology. Within the arena of tickets and cash, there is something that's called a near-field communications, or an NFC. So you'll be able to go to some type of venue or facility and never have to produce a physical ticket. You just tap on your phone and there it is. Something that's been a little bit slower to actually adopt is smart wallets, such as the Google wallet. With no more wired internet, there's something on the horizon that's even faster than 4G service. And what happens is that this will eventually provide a speedy wireless connectivity to consumers anywhere that they're located all over the world. With biometrics, the grand thing about biometrics is that there won't be a need to really have a password anymore. What happens is that fingerprint, optical, even voice recognition will be replacing passwords or swiping patterns that are currently used on the smartphones of today. what I see as a big benefit is no more charging cables. What will happen is that third-party wireless charging cases will be developed and will use induction charging technology, which is very similar to what's being used now to, say, recharge our cordless toothbrushes. In light of the developments that have occurred within wearable technology and mobile technology, wonder, well, how does this relate to what we do in modeling and simulation? What kind of impact can it have? When we look at the wearable impact, its point of view, there are several research programs that have incorporated the use of Google Glass within simulation, and what it will allow people to do is, depending on who's wearing the Google Glass at the time, you can look at several different points of view. One example is the eyes of the patient view, and what happens is that the Google Glass is placed on the simulator, and this gives the learner to have a chance to see themselves through the eyes of the patient. Another view is through the eyes of the surgeon, and what happens is the glass is worn by the participant while performing a simulated procedure, and then later on the participant can analyze what their progress was during the procedure and take a look at areas that they need to improve. Another view is with the eye of the participant. The glass is worn by the learner involved in a patient management scenario, and then the learner is able to experience the simulated crisis, and this allows a more proximate contact with the actions of the team than the traditional overhead view that is available now. And finally, there's also Google Glass with the eyes of the facilitator, and what happens is the Google Glass is actually worn by the facilitator of the simulation, and what they can do is review their performance as a debriefer, and you can take a look and see perhaps how effective your eye contact and your interest level generated through the group was. We can also use wearable technology to assess learners' physiologic response. A lot of what we do now, or a lot of the times when we're running a scenario, we observe the participants for certain physical signs and symptoms to alert us to the amount of stress that they're experiencing. But what can happen is that the learner can actually wear a bracelet or maybe a shirt, and it will provide feedback to the instructor, and the instructor can see, well, is this scenario very stressful to the learner and I need to bring it back, or is the learner, pulse rate barely going up and I need to ramp up the situation so that they can experience a true crisis. Wearable technology or mobile technology can also be used to augment the scenario, and one of the things that we were considering is perhaps the use of Google Glass with ACLS. What would happen is that as the ACLS scenario is occurring, the participant could bring up the ACLS algorithm and actually keep their hands free to continue to practice in the scenario while reviewing the algorithm at the same time. And what has happened is that it's been shown that perhaps there could be better outcomes if this were to occur in real life. As far as the impact of mobile technology on modeling and simulation, as I mentioned earlier, the student or the participant can wear a special monitoring device, and what happens is that information from the wearable technology is then transmitted to mobile technology that the instructor would hold on to, and that would provide feedback to the instructor of what the participant is experiencing. As I mentioned before, is the participant's heart rate increasing? Are they detecting extraneous movements. And in this sense, the mobile technology can be used as a data collection tool. Mobile technology can also be used for modeling of patient anatomy, and there's a little clip that we can view here.
The SonoSim ultrasound training solution makes training easy and effective. The SonoSim solution is the only ultrasound training that combines hands-on scanning with a comprehensive selection of educational courses and real-time performance assessment. Thousands of real patient cases with thousands of pathologies are available on demand from the SonoSim case library. The SonoSim Skill Box contains the basic skills you need to acquire and interpret ultrasound images. Learn by doing. The SonoSimulator allows you to scan on a variety of surfaces based on your individual preference. As you rotate the handheld SonoSim sensor, a virtual probe on screen precisely mirrors your sensor motion, and a corresponding ultrasound image is displayed in real time. By removing layers of skin and anatomy, you can visualize the array beam and correlate ultrasound images with underlying anatomical structures. View buttons provide probe positioning assistance, and findings videos deliver expert clinical analysis.
This scan of the right upper quadrant examines the hepatorenal interface, commonly known as Morrison's pouch.
The SonoSim solution also teaches ultrasound-guided procedures. Knobology tutorials demonstrate a variety of ultrasound machines. SonoSim hands-on training is supported by the most comprehensive course catalog available today. Created by leading ultrasound educators, SonoSim courses combine text, video, and animation to create a dynamic training tool. Questions and feedback are interspersed throughout each course, and each course concludes with a mastery test and performance review. SonoSim, the proven ultrasound training solution, is certified for continuing medical education. The SonoSim ultrasound training solution is now available in two powerful formats, SonoSim Personal Solutions and SonoSim Editions. The SonoSim ultrasound training solution adapts to any training environment. Choose the solution that works for you. The SonoSim Personal Solution converts your own computer into your personal ultrasound training platform. Create your own content by selecting modules from the SonoSim content library, or choose pre-configured SonoSim packages. SonoSim Editions, provided on custom laptops, are perfect for simulation centers, training programs, and institutions. Contact a SonoSim team member for more information. SonoSim, the easiest way to learn ultrasonography.
Some other ways that mobile technology is being used in simulation training is there was the development of a tablet app for advancing patient safety with the patient blood management program. What happens is that there is a tool that provides a 3D environment to the user, and it shows a patient in a simulated medical environment with medical equipment, and the learner has to decide, which blood products to transfuse and if they're appropriate or not, and later they're able to go back into the scenario and review their decisions. And what happens is that this tablet app was developed with continuous simulation capability for hands-on, real-time exercises, and it satisfies an unmet need for simulation training modalities in this medical subfield, and it provides a means for comprehensive and effective training to mitigate the issues and challenges surrounding blood transfusion through an immersive simulation training using the fundamentals of patient blood management. Eventually, this app may merge with compatibility of, let's say, a smartwatch, and could form a bridge between mobile and wearable technology. Within the arena of neurosurgery, there is an app that combined a patient CT with an MRI and the blood vessel mapping that they've done, and it's incorporated into one program that simulates the patient's anatomy and allows the surgeon to really simulate the neurosurgery and have an idea of where certain sensitive areas are that need to be avoided, and hopefully this will lead to some improved outcomes when the actual surgery is performed by being able to, again, simulate this type of neurosurgery before actually approaching the patient.
First of all, 3D interactive computer graphics were created in advance and displayed on iPad. Here you can see vascular components of an AVM, for example. By one finger you can pan, and by two fingers you can rotate, magnify, and move it. If you want to control each element, tap the setting button and select Object Settings. Now you can see several objects which were created in advance. Object 1 was assigned to the brain. Tap here to change the visibility of this element, and then you can visualize the brain. After returning to the settings, select Object 4, which was assigned to the skull. Similarly, tap here to visualize it, and then, by tapping here, you can also control the opacity in 10 levels. Again, return to settings, select another element assigned to the hematoma, visualize it, and control the opacity. Finally, the simulated surgical view was easily obtained. Now you can move it as you like to predict the surgical field.
So looking at the future of mobile and wearable technology, there are some intelligent apps out there that are going to be offering us very personalized experiences. And what happens is that these apps actually collect and track data from us, anywhere from behaviors that we do to the foods that we like and the activities that we perform. And what happens is that companies will probably eventually take this data to make some of these intelligent apps provide even more information to you as far as recommendations on how you should proceed next. With phones as lifestyle coaches, it's kind of along the same lines. We already have these apps that tell us how many steps you've taken, how many calories you've eaten, and again, they can combine all of this information to help you make an informed decision. As far as turning chores into games, what this would do is it would add some entertainment to routine activities to motivate people to do more. Something that's already around is with the Nike Fuel Band. After you reached your goal of how many steps per day, you'll see all these little rainbow colored lights go around the bracelet to kind of say, oh, you won a prize for the day. In the arena of improving individualized marketing, we can already kind of see this occurring. What happens is that companies get data from us and they provide a more personalized marketing towards us. And it's gotten to the point where we saw where Amazon is going to know what you want to buy before you do and have whatever this particular item is delivered to your doorstep. It's become so targeted that they can take a look at what items you're surfing the internet for and what your preferences in the past have been, the types of movies that you watch, and say, hey, this is for you. Retail stores, not to be left out, are also going to be using mobile technology. They have something that's called an iBeacon, and when you're within 50 meters or so of this iBeacon, It will automatically provide some interactive material for you, such as maps of the mall area that you're located. It will then target specific coupons toward you as incentives to continue shopping. With the mobile industry, we can even see that our cars are going to become more mobile because there will be mobile internet connectivity. So for example, while you're in your vehicle, the operating system in the vehicle may get some type of information that there's been a vehicle recall, and you may be able to control your car from your phone, such things as the remote setup, so that in the morning when it's snowing you can hurry up and turn your car on without even having to go outdoors. And what will really happen in the future is wearable technology will go mainstream, and in fact Forbes declared 2014 as the year of mobile technology, and what we'll find is that the majority of the population will be wearing at least one wearable device. Mobile and wearable technology is being incorporated into almost everything we do. Its impact on modeling and simulation is yet to be determined. However, incorporation of this technology is inevitable.